Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. Should I be starting this new series when I haven't even finished the current series of other series that I'm doing on my channel? No. Am I going to do it anyway? Yes. And this is a kind of like redoing a series, quote unquote series that I've already done, where I swatch all of my X color of shadows from my palettes and my singles. I think I finally figured out a way to do overhead like filming. So I'm really I haven't filmed it yet, but I think it's gonna go well, which is why I'm filming this intro already. But so I thought that this would be like the perfect opportunity to start doing this series, because I've been thinking about redoing this series for a long time, and it's kind of like everything's finally coming together. So I'm gonna be swatching all of my pink shadows today, like I said, from my palettes and my singles. I'm gonna do this in rainbow order. To me, pink is like before red in the rainbow, if we're gonna count pink. Instead of like after purple. I don't know. That's just me. Very excited. Pink is my #1 favorite eyeshadow color to wear. So I love swatching shadows, but especially swatching my pinks is like the best. So without further ado, let's just get into the swatching and just enjoy it. Hey, welcome to this swatching video. It's not going to be the best necessarily, but it's going to be better than my other one, so a win is a win. First of all, I'll apologize for the state of my hands. I have working man's hands, and they're not that pretty to look at right now, but anyway. So I'm going to start with the Lunar. I'm going to try not to bump the camera. It's like a little bit awkward, but I'm going to start with the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. There are obviously a lot of pinks in here. Should have probably worn a t-shirt for this, but oh well. So I'm going to start with the shade Luna. That's such a beautiful color. Seriously, so pretty. The next pink, you know what, I'm gonna swatch Mildred just because I feel like it's, I guess, more of like a rosy pink. We'll count it. And then I'm going to also swatch Misty. I feel like Alex could go either pink or purple, but I'm gonna choose for it to be a pink. Oh yeah, that's a pink. Jillian, I feel like, is more of a purple. Willow is a red. You know what? I'll swatch Cameron because I don't know what else it would be. It's not really an orange. I guess it's like a peachy, pinky coral. But I'd rather swatch it in here than with the oranges. Oops, sorry. I'll take my gross cloth away. Should I zoom in a little? I want to zoom in, but I also don't want the palette to be out of frame. So it's just a dilemma over here. But anyway, I feel like Freya is the next true pink. Maybe I'll also swatch Grams, actually. I don't know, I wouldn't really classify this as a red, so we'll count it as like a deeper pink. And then I feel like all of the rest of these are pretty much purples, so we're gonna leave it here. Maybe I'll swatch Queenie, actually. That might be a little bit more purple, but it seems like a little bit of a like a dark pink kind of. So this is from the Lunar Beauty palette. Now I have my Beauty Bay palettes, but I've stacked them smallest to largest, so the smallest are on the top. This is the Techna Days palette from Beauty Bay. And there are two pinks in here. The shade Dazed, which is this hot matte pink. Ugh, the way I love these types of pinks. And the shade Sunrise, which is like a warmer peachy pink. Then we have the Utopia palette from Beauty Bay. You know what? I'm gonna swatch Bliss, which is also, honestly, these are probably exactly the same shade. And I'm also gonna swatch the shade Midsummer, which when you look at it, I guess I could swatch this for both red and pink, but it's kind of pink, even though it looks pretty red in the pan. I'm doing a little bit of jumping around now, but now I'm going to go into the New Mood palette from Beauty Bay. Then I'm going to swatch the shade Tender. This is more of like a peachy pink, but still a pink. The shade Initiative, Intimate. Again, more of a peachy pink, but we're classifying it as a pink for the purposes of this video. And the shade Free is an iridescent pink shade, and we can't forget about the shade Passionate. Okay, so this is my first little round of pinks. Okay, next up we have the Berries palette from Beauty Bay. I'll zoom in a little bit more. So this is where the question kind of lies between what's a pink, what's a red. But now that I'm looking at this, I feel like pretty much this entire palette is pink. I feel like maybe this shade Journal might be purpley, but honestly I'll probably swatch it anyway. So first we have the shade Curve. I should have worn a short sleeve for this. This is a matte, warm, like pink with a hint of peach. The shade Claret is, I feel like this could also be considered a red though. It's like a red with a lot of pink to it. Daiquiri, oh, such a good shade. This is like a pink with an oranginess to it. Then we have Shake, which is a super like almost white, milky pink matte macaron. The most pretentious way of pronouncing that. A warm like watermelon pink. What is that? Sofa. Okay. Pink with a gold shimmer. Lilo. A super hot pink. Oh my god. I love pink eyeshadow, you guys. Cloud is a pink with almost like a green shimmer to it. Loyalty is a like purpley pinky shade. Doll is another like warmer pink. Nova. Bubblegum. Oh my god, I love. Rosewood. This is also more of like a purpley pink, but definitely a rosy pink. Juba. No, what? Jura. Why is this so hard to read? This is more of a purple. Maybe. Journal. We'll swatch. Yeah, this is a purple, but it's been swatched, so too late. And then Soda, which is easily my favorite shade in the palette. Look at that. Ugh. A metallic hot pink. Okay, well, I mean, honestly, this is just the Beauty Bay Berries palette swatched out, but Okay, now we have the Love Notes palette. If I could open it. Okay, let's see. So, you know what? I'm not entirely sure. This feels like a champagne-y. That's like a pinky gold. The shade Chandelier. Angel is a, just again, super light, almost white pink. Cheeks is a rosy shade. I'm swatching around my tripod, so if my swatches look kind of awkward, that would be why. Bellini is next. Flush. Handkerchief. Cupid. And then, you know what, I'll swatch Confetti. But, let's see. It's on the cusp, I guess, of being red and pink. From the Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy palette, I would honestly say there's one pink in here. The shade Hack is a really icy, shimmery pink. But that's it. We have Sunset Horizons from Beauty Bay. So starting with the shade Dusk. Flamingo. This is one of my favorite pinks in my entire collection. And I would say, you know what, I'll swatch Cocktail, but yeah, it's a pink. It's like a warm, really warm pink. Then we have the Beauty Bay and Nikki Tutorials palette. Some of these might have to be off camera, but Blend and Snap. Then Roxy Katan. Is Aura a pink? Yeah, Aura's like a peachy pink. And then Pride is also such a beautiful pink with blue sparkle. And we'll swatch Zomer. It's a peach, but where do you classify peach? I don't know. Pink, orange, who knows? So that's the next little round of swatches. Okay, so next up we have the Beauty Bay and Jade palette. This I'm definitely, unfortunately, going to have to swatch a little bit off camera. So we don't have actually as many pinks as I thought. I'm going to swatch Milky Way, which is like an iridescent white pink. Ethereal could also be a purple, but it might be a pink, a purpley pink rather than a pinky purple. Retrograde, obviously, is a hot pink. Can never have enough. Rose Quartz, so pretty. And then Love Aura. And that actually is all for my Beauty Babe pinks. Okay, so now we're going to get into some Blend Bunny. So this is the All Done Up palette from Blend Bunny. Is this even a pink? The shade Close Up? More of a peach, but I guess for the purposes of this video we'll include peaches. And then again, I think Shine is honestly more of a green, but I guess it's like a pink with a green kind of shift. Has a pink base, and then we'll do Wink, obviously. Such good shimmers in this palette, seriously. Next up, we have the Primal palette from Blend Bunny. So we have Nectar. Warning, look at that. Oh, Lord. Lethal. And then Rome, oops, and Feral. So we'll swatch Feral first, and then Rome. Next up is the Dollhouse palette. So let's see, will I be able to fit all of these is the question. Actually, most of these, I would say most of these mattes are purple. Maybe the only true pinks would be the shade Pretend, which is another of those like white iridescent pink shades, and then Tulle. And I guess also the shade Little Sister. So these are the next little round of pink shades. And then we have the Surge palette. So starting with the shade Cheeks. Then Maybe. Taboo. And then these shades All Mine. And Charged, which is a neon. Look at that. Okay, so it is a different day for me, but obviously it's just a moment in time for you. So let's just continue. I have just kind of a whole bunch of random palettes now. This is the Quintessence palette from Sydney Grace and Tim Talia. There are, I think, I want to say 2 pinks in here, the shade Orion Nebula. I really hope that my camera is not picking up truly on how dry my hands are, because it's kind of disgusting. And the Milky Way, maybe this is more of a purple. Yeah, but whatever, we're swatching it, so. Okay, I just put lotion on my hands, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But next up is the Millennial Pinks palette from Melt. And there are, I really don't want the camera to see how disgusting I look, but it may just happen. There are obviously a lot of pinks in here, so starting with the shade Rosé Brunch. Pink Leather is a light matte. Flamingo Dream. Yeah, the Milky Way definitely looks much more purple. Then we have Mixed Emotions. Modern Love. And Ruby Spar. And then I'll swatch Pink Noise as well. I actually have a lot more than I thought of these like iridescent white kind of pink shades. Then from the Melt, the Waiting Room palette, I could get this thing off. To me, the shade Sod Girl is very much a pink more than a red. Then the Amor y Mariposas from Melt. There's not a ton of pinks in here. I would say the shade Abuelita is, the shade Sagrado, and Perla. So Abuelita, Sagrado, and Perla. I mean, that kind of looks red. I would probably swatch this in my red video as well, but I feel like it's a pinky red. Then the, what is this technically called? There's an actual name to this. Rose Decadence from Pat McGrath. Let's see. This shade, Pink Champagne, is a pink. Please excuse my wound on my finger. There's always something going on with my hands. Peach Dusk. I think this is a pink as well. Fuchsia Flame. It's like a purpley pink, but I think it's a pink more than a purple. And I don't know. I feel like this is more of a purple. Hedonistic Rose. Wow, let's swatch it. I'll swatch it in my purple. Yeah, I think this is, well, I feel like it could really go either way. It's kind of in between. But this is the next little row of pinks. I feel like it's so interesting to always just like see kind of the range of colors in like one color, or range of like tones and stuff within like one specific color family. I don't know. I always think it's interesting. Okay, next up we have Pat McGrath Utopian Dream. So starting, I'm just gonna swatch these and then tell you the shade names. So this is the lightest rosy matte. And then this is like a bronze. There's this special astral shade. Oh my god, I need to use this palette again. It's so beautiful. Should we count this? Sure. It's like a pinky brown, but it's rosy. I don't necessarily know if that's considered a pink or not, but we did it. Then this metallic, this warmer pink, and then this is a multi-chrome, but it's a pinky multi-chrome. So we'll swatch it. And then I guess, well, this is like a purpley shade maybe more, but there's pink in it. That's obviously not going to swatch the best, but yeah. So if you were curious, this is going to be a bit awkward, but this is the shade Secret Eden. This is Astral Venusian Orchid, Extreme Plum Noir, Cosmic Bloom, Shockwave, Blitz Sextreme, and Astral Amethyst Moon. Feels like most of that was out of frame, but we're doing the best we can. Okay, next up we have the Celestial Odyssey. So there are actually less pinks than I remembered there being, but that's okay. This freaking stupid mirror. I might also have to swatch some of these off camera. We'll swatch this because it's like a fuchsia, again, like purpley pink color. And then there's this pinky gold, and then this pink matte, and that's actually it. I feel like I think of this as a pinky palette, but yeah. So if you were curious, this is Fuchsia Shock, this is Cosmic, and this is Venusian Orchid. Let's do some random ones. So this is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 palette. I would say there's this one, which is like kind of peachy brown almost, but yeah. And then there's this like dusty pink. Then there's this really random Smashbox palette. This is the Cover Shot Nova palette, and then there's this really dusty light pink here. This is a Kaleidos palette. This is the Futurism 3 Astro Pink. And I'm just gonna do, these two are maybe more purpley. Well, no, these are pink. What am I saying? Okay, so we'll do the light and then the deeper one. So this is, again, like a peachy, dusty pink. And then this also could be considered a purple, but we'll swatch it. And then how much room do I have? Let's try to fit the pinks from the Flower Punk palette. There's only 3. So we have Stained Glass, Nouveau, and Peach Soju. All right, and this is the next little row of pinks. We have all the really bright, we have really a range in this little selection. All the way to almost brown. Okay, next up we have the Hummingbird palette in collaboration with the Fancy Face from Odin's Eye. So, okay, let's see. I think actually, maybe there's only one, the shade Hibiscus. Fancy, now that I'm looking at it, looks like a purple. So I'm gonna swatch it in the purples. Then we have the Solmane 2 from Odin's Eye as well. I would say there's one pink shade, the shade Starry Sky, which by the way, I don't know if you can see, but look how much shadow I took out just from taking away the hard pan. It's super annoying. But anyway, it's like it's a pink adjacent. It looks really pink in the pan. It doesn't necessarily translate super pink on the like swatch, but that's fine. We have the Norns from Odin's Eye. I'm going to swatch the shade Pink Chameleon, which is hard to see, and it's like an iridescent hint of multi-chrome shade, but there's a pink to it. So then we have the Merry Christmas palette, and there are a few pinks in here. So I'm going to swatch the shade Little Star. This is like a peachy, pinky gold shade, and then Bless, which is a hot pink shimmer. And then the Hella palette in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist. So we have Hella, light pink matte, Hellfire, again kind of a peach, but we'll include it, and Goddess. Again, really apologize for the state of my fingers, but there's only so much I can do. Then we have the Escape Pod from Kaleidos. We're kind of bouncing around, but that's okay. Flamingo, same matte bright pink. Let's see, we'll swatch Starlight Sonata, although I feel like, oops, maybe it's not super pink, and then Amaretto as well. And then we have Club Nebula from Kaleidos, also in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist. See, I feel like Samus is more orange. Like, I feel like I would swatch this in orange, even though it's like a peach. But I'm going to swatch Celestial. That's a pink. And then Nebula, I will swatch in this video. And I'm going to, I have to go grab my other palettes. So let's just look at my Odin's Eye and Kaleidos pinks. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them. Okay, so let's do some Huda Beauty maybe. This is the Huda Beauty Wild Python. And there is, in fact, one peachy pink in here. So this peachy pink matte from the Wild Python palette. And the Nude Rich from Huda Beauty. I would say this little shimmer is a pink, like pinky gold. This is a pink, like a dusty rosy pink. And then this I would also classify as a pink. And then again, randomly enough, the Khaki Haze. I feel like there are two pinks in here. This really light matte, and then this is a pinky shade. This metallic is like a pinky gold. Then the Coral Obsessions. There are a few pinks in here. This metallic. And then we have this bright, like pinky red. This I'll swatch. Maybe that's more of an orange, but yeah, it's been swatched. And then this peachy pink as well. Then we have the Desert Dusk palette, Huda Beauty Staring Into Your Eyes. I will say that this palette does not swatch that well. Yeah, it just does, it swatches really bad. So we have Celestial. This is like a pinky kind of gold. And then Angelic. Yeah, I think the shades have definitely dried out a little bit over time. And then Turkish Delight. It's like a pinky red. And then Saffron is again like a pinky red. And then we'll do the Rose Quartz palette. So let's see here. A lot of these are like purpley leaning, but the shade Joy is definitely a pink. Cherish is a super light pink. Happiness could also be considered a purple. Again, it's kind of like one of those in-between shades. And then, I don't know, I think Serenity leans more purple. We'll do Self-Love, which I think kind of shows up more of a pink, yeah. So these are all of my Huda Beauty pinks. And you know what? Actually, Quartz as well, I think is a pink. So we'll swatch it right here. It's like a rosy, or kind of like golden. Oops, you can't even see that golden pink. Okay, then we have some, again, kind of random assortment. This is Colored Rain Rose Garden, and Chestnut Rose is like a peachy, pinky kind of shade. And we have the Colored Rain and Power palette, and I think the only real like pink is the shade Revenge. I need to use this palette as well. It's so good. Then we have the Ugly palette from Likely Makeup. Two pinks in here, the shade Bellyache. A bright, bright pink, and then Seraphic is a light icy pink. Some ColourPop palettes now, the Ooh La La palette. And actually, not every single shade is a pink. So Tickled is definitely a icy pink with a blue sparkle to it. Soft Core is a dusty pink. Poodle Big Sugar is a satiny pink. Opulent and Sandbar. And then I feel like these three shades down here are more, well, obviously this is a gold. These are more purple to me, so we're gonna save those for the purple video. Next, ColourPop Yes Please. Oh my goodness. Let's do the shade, I don't know, obviously the shade names aren't on here, which comparatively looks like an orange. So that's my bad. I guess we will swatch that in the orange video. I don't know. This to me is a pinky shade as well, but maybe not so much. And then this is like a reddish pinky shade. Then we have Dream Street from ColourPop. I would say, okay, we'll swatch this one. I don't know if this is gonna be really a true pink. And then this shade. It's like a warm pink. The Zodiac palette, also from Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. The Cancer is a pink. The Libra is also a pink. And then we have Lush Life. You know what? Oh, I think I pulled it just for this one shade called Hideaway. Which I guess is pinky-ish, but I think it just looks more pink in the pan. I don't know how pink that truly is. It looks more like a copper, honestly. And then let's just get the last ColourPop palette, Cabana Club. There are 2 pinks in here. So Bikini is a pink matte. And then Copa Cutie is a pinky gold. Oh, swatch that off camera, but here, you can see it now. So here are the next assortment of pinks. Okay, moving along. Juicy Boost from Colored Rain. We have a good amount of pinks in here, starting with Sweet Ruby. So good. Then Pink Grapefruit. Cranberry Vanilla. Berry Beet. And Watermelon Detox, or as I say it in my mind every single time, Watermelon Sugar. Then we have the, okay, let me get the Juicy Boost palette out of the way. The Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette. Much more muted array of pinks, but actually I feel like there's one pink in here, which is the shade Butterfly. I don't really know. If anything, I feel like this matte up here is a purple. So this is Butterfly, but this is definitely a pink. I think I bastardized this shade a little bit with Watermelon Detox, but oh well. Okay, some Adept palettes. This is the Codan palette. How I wish I could buy every single thing Adept releases, but I feel like there are 2 pinks in here. The shade ACM 33 and ACI 31. Then we have Ninhydrin, ACD 18, ACI 18. Ooh, that's a little flaky. And I think that is it. And then Plain Jane. Let's see. ACI 3. ACI 5. And ACI 6. And then, yeah, ACI 11. This is a pink, or is it a purple? It's a pink. And ACI 12. Oh my god, I love hot pink shimmers. The Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette, if I can open it. The shade Milky Way. That's the only pink. Pink with a green shine, green-blue shine. And I'm gonna, oops, oh my god. I'm gonna leave this here for now, then we're gonna do my ABH pinks. Okay, moving on to ABH, the Jackiana palette. 2 pinks. The shade Supreme and Pinker, which ironically feels kind of like a purple. ABH Riviera. Okay. So we have Palermo. Coastline. Bahamas. And Monte Carlo. ABH Soft Glam. What a throwback. Rose Pink will swatch. And maybe that's it. Maybe, okay, we'll do Dusty Rose, but I know that I'm gonna, yeah, this is a purple. Or it looks like a purple to me anyway. Subculture, which I feel like the only real, like, pink would be the shade Cube, like this white pink iridescent shade, which honestly barely swatches. Roxy, I'll swatch it, but I know I'm going to swatch it, and I'm going to be like, yeah, that looks orange. So, and then last but not least for ABH, Modern Renaissance. Vermeer is a pink, although it barely looks it. Love Letter. And Venetian Red, which always looks pink, but then when you swatch it next to pinks, it does look red. So anyway, and I'm gonna grab the next round of palettes. So these are actually all my ABH pinks. Interesting. And a splash of orange. A whole smattering of random palettes now. This is the Pure and Raw Beauty Christie palette. Cafe Disco is a not iridescent, but really light icy pink. Side Effect, a hot pink. And then I would say from the neutral side, it just is one of those peachy pinks. And Moot Point, I think, to me is more of a purple. The NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Phoenix. What is a red? What is a pink? What is a purple? I don't know. Okay, we'll do this one. It's kind of like a cranberry shade. We'll do this one. I guess this one could be considered like a rose gold, like goldy pink. And then this as well. That's a rosy shade. This Random Makeup Forever palette, which is my least favorite palette in my entire collection, fun fact. And there's this one pink right here. And apparently every single one of my Makeup Revolution palettes have a pink in them. So this is the Reloaded Neutrals 2. Okay, let's try to do these quickly. There's this peachy shade, peachy pink, this peachy pink, this pink matte, this pink matte, this pink, this pink, this is an orange, not that you can see that anyway. We'll swatch this one, and then we'll do this one. Okay, here we go. The next little round of pink shadows. Now we have this Makeup Revolution palette. This is the Reloaded Neutrals 3. This light peachy pink, which looks more like a peach. This. We're gonna leave it there. This is the Reloaded Iconic Fever. I would say there's this one pink. This is the Reloaded Visionary. I'm just gonna swatch this metallic. I feel like that's pretty much it. Then we have the Reloaded Iconic Vitality. I'll swatch the same shades that I swatched in Modern Renaissance, which this is, again, doesn't really look that pink. And then we have this pink matte and this that kind of looks red. Then we have the Reloaded Iconic Division. Again, I'll just swatch the corresponding shades that I swatched in Subculture. This is the shitty white pink shade, and then this peachy shade that looks orange. And we have the Roxasaurus Ride or Die palette from Makeup Revolution. Let's do Firework. Cranberry. Ariel. And then we'll do Sunset. And Inspire, although this might be more of a purple, but and then why is there all this black shadow everywhere? What has happened? Fuck. And the light source that I had over here just burnt out, so that's super great. Maybe. Okay, I brought a new one in, so hopefully this will suffice for the rest of the video. This is the e.l.f. Electric Mood palette. I feel like there's this pink called Shy. And then this one called Sweeties. Is this a pink? If anything, I feel like this is more of a purple. So we'll leave that there. And then I will show you the next little batch of pinks. Okay, now we have, again, well, this is not old, but we have some older palettes coming up. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Sunset Stripped palette, which actually is very new to me. Okay. Shall We Dance is a pink kind of taupery shade. This I was gonna swatch, but I don't really feel like that's truly pink. Golden Hour maybe is a pinky shade. And then I'm gonna leave it there. This feels a little bit pointless, but the original Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, there's this really light pink. But for the purposes of the video, I'll swatch it. And then I guess this is like an icy pink shade as well. Urban Decay Born to Run. Again, I don't really know, are these pinks? I don't know why this shade Wild Heart, I feel like is a pink. No, I honestly, yeah, I feel like that's more of a purple than anything. I guess Still Shot, considering I've been including peachy shades in this. I'll swatch it. LOL. Remember Urban Decay Gwen Stefani. I'm just gonna swatch the shade Harajuku, which is like the dustiest pink ever. Naked 3 from Urban Decay, which ironically, I feel like so many of these shades barely read like pink. But we'll swatch Dust, which does appear to be the dustiest shadow ever. Burnout. Limit. Which is honestly looks pretty purpley. And then we'll do Buzz, which used to be like my favorite shadow ever. And then Tarte Tartist Pro. If you can see me, I apologize for that. Let's see, we'll do Chic, which probably will look brown when I swatch it. Yep, Mod. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna go grab some more palettes, but I'll let you look at these old crusty dusty shadows. Alright, we're on the home stretch now. Let's do some BH. So this is the Low Key Love You. Oops, okay. That's not really pink, is it? I thought I was gonna take the swatch the shade 143, but that doesn't really read that pink to me. So I'm actually not going to. Looking like a snack, this actually does have lots of pinks in here. So, Teenage Dream. You Up. Snatched. And Hit That. So cringy. Should I swatch Bootylicious while considering we've been swatching peaches? Sure. Ironically enough, BH Avocado Toast. The shade Pink Salt is a very light pink, pinky peachy shade. Not very exciting, but we're trying to be thorough. BH Mimosa. Vibes. Pop. Ooh, look, I love the shade Pomegranate. Cheers. Bottomless. Guava. Raspberry. Fizzy. And Saluti. And then we'll do the Summer in Saint Tropez palette. Bagatelle. Viewport. Portalette. And Place de Lys. So this is the next little, or the first batch of BH pinks. Okay, then we have Trendy in Tokyo. There's actually a good amount of pinks in here as well. So we have Cherry Blossom, Ueno Park. I think I did look up these at one point, but Harajuku and Mount Fuji. Hanging in Hawaii. There are a few pinks in here. Luau is one. Ohana. And Paradise. Party in Puerto Rico. Let's see. I would say, oh shit. Viake? I would look them up if I wasn't in this position. Isla Verde and Flamenco. Oh my god, there's a squirrel trying to climb in through my window. Passion in Paris. Are there pinks in here? I was gonna swatch Champs-Élysées and Notre Dame, but I really don't think that those are really pink, so never mind that. Amor and Amalfi. Ravello. Ravello is the one shade I'll swatch from here. That's a pink for sure. And then Lost in Los Angeles. 90210. It's like a purpley pink, but to me this is a pink. Maybe this, the 405, it's like a peachy pink, could go either way, really. WeHo. And Sunset Boulevard. Oh, I love this shade so much. And is the Hills pink? Yeah, it's kind of like an icy pink. And that's it for my BH pink. So here's another little shot of my BH pinks. Then we have the two Unearthly palettes. I have the Weirdos palette. The shade He's Sorry is a light matte pink. And I'm Flying. It's a metallic pink. Glamour. It's not really a pink, but we'll swatch it since we're here. And then the Warms My Blood palette. Let's see. The only shimmer, you know what? What's pink in here? Human is for sure pink, but I don't know if anything else is really a pink. I feel like everything else is more of a purple. I have some Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian. I always kind of think of this as a pink, but I actually don't know that this shade is really pink. So never mind about that one. We have the Saharan. Oh my gosh. These palettes bring back so many memories. Zoya. Lulu. Fula. And Sokoto is kind of an orange, but also could be like a pink. So we have the Warrior 2, and I feel like Daura is one of those like peachy pinky shades. The Deuce, we have Creme and Puffs. Oh, Tarte also. Crepes, I feel like Crepes is low-key a pink. Yeah. The Zulu. Two pinks in here, this metallic, and this pink, this warmer pink. These two shades I used to use all the time. All the time. It was like my going out look when I was in undergrad. The Festival. Manwu, I will say, is another one of those peachy pink shades that kind of just looks like an orange. Irigi is a hot pink. Can I fit any more? Let's try to fit the Warrior 2 pink. Actually, there's just one, so that's easy. Fenty, which I also use a lot. Okay, so these are Juvia's Place and Unearthly pinks. Okay, we have the Magic mini palette. So the shade Osun, Zuba, and Kogi. And then the Masquerade mini. Bori, I would say, is probably the only pink in here. All right, another bunch of randoms here. Lime Crime, Venus 3. What are the pinks? I would say, you know what, Dreamy is one of those in-betweens. I'm gonna call it a pink. Could also be a purple. Oh, I'm gonna have to de-hard pan this after that. Look at that. You can watch it in action. Rapture. And Bliss. And then the original Venus from Lime Crime. I'm gonna swatch Shell and Rebirth. Berries and Cream from Dominique Cosmetics. What are the pink shades in here? Sweet Cream is like an off-white pinky shade. Soft and Sweet, which you can't see, is like a brown, but there's a pink to it. And Sugar Cookie is a icy pink. Rustic Glam. Wildflower is the only pink in here. And then I will leave these shades here, and then we'll swatch some Morphe pinks, LOL. Okay, starting with my Morphe palettes, this is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss. What is pink in here? Probably just the shade Bling Bling. Then we have the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Original Palette. There's not a ton of pinks in here. I'm just going to swatch these 3 at the top. Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. I feel like there's a relatively... There's a lot of pinks in here. Okay, so... just stay. This palette's not going to cooperate with me. Okay. Love Handles. We'll include it as a pink. There are palettes in the way. There's a mirror here. It's really disaster. Ride or Diamonds. Doesn't really look that pink, but whatever. Thick Skin. It's like a rosy brown. But Bougie, that's a pink. Drama Queen. Positivity. It's like an orangey pink, like a coral. Heart On, which always just sounds like I'm saying hard on. Live in My... Oh, that's a red. What am I doing? Lolly Mama. Tipsy Girl. Is this a pink or a red? Empowered, I'll swatch it as a pink. Next, is this a pink? Sure. Dance Party. And then Oh Hello. And Crazy also will count as a pink. This could be really a red, but maybe it's just considered a really deep pink. And then this giant ass Morphe and James Charles palette. Okay, there's not really that many pinks in here. Maybe I'll swatch them on the, I was gonna say palm, but the back of my hand. This matte is pinky, kind of. Is this a pink? Not sure. I guess it's like a pinky peach. And then there's this really light matte. And then this hot pink matte. So these are from the James Charles palette. Okay. So these are my Morphe pinks, I guess. Okay, you guys, so we are finally at the end. We've reached the point where we're gonna look at my singles. So these are all my MAC singles. We'll swatch. This is Cranberry. My arm is like kind of just stained pink now, but that's okay. And then Expensive Pink we'll swatch as well. So these are my Terra Moons shadows. I don't have a ton of, I actually think the only pink truly is this shade here. This is the shade, and whatever. I always say it wrong and people are like, meh, meh, meh. That's how I say it. Antares or Antares. I don't know right off the top of my head. That's a pink. I mean, it's a multi-chrome. It's like a pink with a gold green shine. Oops, just dug my finger into a shade. Okay, so these are my Cleona shades and 2 Adept singles. So let's see. This is Kaleidoscope, which is a light pink with green and blue. This is Spotlight, if I'm not mistaken. I love this shadow. It's a pink, obviously with blue sparkle. Spotlight is correct. And this is Emboss. No, what is this? This is like a quiz on what the names of my single shadows are. It's kind of purpley, but purpley pink. Impress, Engrave. And then we'll swatch these. This is, I cannot remember. This is Emboss. And then Blaze, which I use all of the time. This is one of my favorite singles. It's a peachy pink, pinky gold. Okay, and now we're moving on to my massive, it takes up the entire shot. Let me move these out of the way. Colored Rain palettes. Let me take out my pinks from here. Give me 1 second. Okay, I just mix them all up, which kind of pains me a little bit, but that's okay. So I guess in no particular order, because this is the shade Baby Girl from Luxie. Let me try to do my Luxies. This is the shade Tesla. Oh, you can't even see it. I low-key thought I was swatching that on camera. This is Cookie Dough. Right? Yes. This has a lot of blue shimmer to it. This is Walk of Shame. One of those, again, iridescent white pinks. I think that's it for my Luxie shimmer. So this is the shade Dreamy. This is a matte. This is Sultry. And then this is Heartthrob from Luxie as well. These are all of my Luxie shades. Let's do Pretties for Your Face. This is the shade Baby Valentine, which is kind of, it's just like a really light pink. And then this is Light as a Feather. And then the rest we have are from Shine by Esty. So maybe I'll swatch these on my hand. So this is the shade Dreamy, which is like a pink. It's an iridescent, like, multi-chrome duochrome. It's a light pink with a purpley blue shift. So I don't know how pink that's going to translate on camera. This is Reserve number 3. This is Twinkle, which is so beautiful. That does not even do it justice, but has a green shift to it. And then these two, I'm not 100% sure if they're even still available. This is the shade Vigorous, which is like a peachy, like goldy pink. And then the shade Problematic, which may look more purple, yeah, on camera, but it has like a pink shift to it. So those are my Shine by Esty pinks. And then these are the rest of my pink, well, actually not quite the rest of my pink singles. I have one more palette of singles to go through first. And then these are the last of my pink singles. These are just like the larger pans. These are from JD Glow, and then 2 are from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. So this is the shade Opal from JD Glow. Then we have Sin, which is also, well, it's like a pinky purple, aka Sprung. So these are the JD Glow pinks that I have, and then the last 2 are from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. So this is the shade Unicorn Glow. Technically, this is a highlighter, but that's definitely, to me, a single shadow. I took it out of a highlighter palette. And then this is from the Meadow palette, but I took it out. Does it say on the back? No. Yeah, I think it's called the Meadow palette. Anyway, the shade is Pink Blossom, but it was in a palette at one point, and then I depotted the palette. Well, they're magnetic, but anyway. So yeah, these are the last 4 of my pink singles, and that concludes this video. It's been a long one, but a fun one, and my battery's about to die. So let me know what you think of this, if it's better. I haven't looked at any of the footage yet. I really hope that it's okay. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.